Hey everyone, welcome back. I appreciate you tuning in today. I've got a new story to share with you, so let's dive in. My name is Michael, and if you had asked me a year ago, I would have told you I had a strong, loving marriage. I truly believed in what Emily and I had built together. For years, I focused on laying down a solid foundation for our future. My business had finally started to gain momentum, and I was in the process of expanding into several new cities. That required a lot of travel. Sometimes I'd be gone for days, sometimes weeks, but I did it all for us. At least, I thought I was. Life, however, has a twisted way of catching you off guard. Just when you think you've got everything figured out, it throws something at you that knocks the wind from your lungs. That moment came for me without warning, and when it did, it hit harder than anything I'd ever known. I was out of town on a business trip, and things were going well. Productive meetings, promising deals. I was exhausted, sure, but also proud. Everything I was doing was supposed to make life better for us. I was already thinking about being home again with Emily, relaxing together after a long few weeks. Then I got a phone call. It was Jake, a friend I'd known for years. But something about his voice immediately told me this wasn't just a casual check-in. There was hesitation, discomfort. "Mike, I wasn't sure if I should even tell you this," he began slowly, "but I can't keep it to myself. I just saw Emily coming out of a hotel, with another man." For a few seconds, I couldn't even speak. My brain couldn't register what I'd just heard. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe there was some logical explanation. But Jake wasn't the type to joke or stir drama. "I took some photos," he continued. "Didn't know if I should, but something felt off. I'm sending them to you now." Moments later, my phone buzzed. My hands felt like ice as I opened the message. And there she was, Emily, my wife, walking out of a hotel lobby, not alone. A man was right beside her. They were close. Too close. I didn't shout. I didn't call her in a rage. I just stood there, staring at the images on my screen. My heart wanted to believe there was some other reason. Some rational explanation. But my gut told me the truth was right there, and I just didn't want to see it. "You still with me?" Jake asked, snapping me back to reality. "Yeah," I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. "I hated being the one to tell you," he said. "But I knew you deserved to know." I nodded silently, even though he couldn't see me. He didn't owe me anything, but he told me anyway. And as painful as it was, he was right. I needed to know. I didn't call Emily. I didn't warn her. I took the next flight home. When I walked into the house, I didn't say a word. Emily was in the kitchen, humming to herself while slicing vegetables. When she noticed me, she smiled brightly. "You're back. How was the trip?" Her voice was light, cheerful. I nodded, pretending nothing was wrong, answering her casually while watching every move she made. I waited. Then, without warning, I asked, "Unlock your phone." The room fell still. Her hands stopped mid-motion, and the air between us became thick with tension. "What?" she laughed nervously. "Why?" She tried to sound playful, but I saw the twitch in her fingers. She was nervous. I didn't respond. I just stared at her, unmoving. "Michael, seriously? This is ridiculous," she said, folding her arms. "After all these years, you don't trust me?" I reached out, picked up her phone, and held it between us. "Unlock it now," I said, my voice calm but firm. "Or I walk out that door and never return." She froze. Her eyes searched mine for any hint of hesitation. But there was none. She knew she was cornered. Her hand trembled as she took the phone, pausing at the screen. Then finally, she unlocked it. The first thing I saw was a flood of unread messages, some from saved contacts, others from unknown numbers. I tapped into one. Then another. And another. Everything was there. Explicit texts. Images. Videos. Conversations I never imagined she'd have with someone else. Messages making plans to meet while I was out of town. Discussions about me, how I was always gone, how she could get away with anything because I trusted her too much. I scrolled through hotel confirmations, late-night chats, messages dripping with betrayal. Some of the pictures she'd sent this other man were nearly identical to the ones she'd once sent me. It felt like the floor had dropped out from under me. Emily broke down on the couch, sobbing uncontrollably. "I'm sorry," she choked out. "I was lonely. You're always away. I didn't mean for this to happen. I still love you. Please, let me explain." But I didn't respond the way she expected. I didn't yell or cry. I simply began taking screenshots, saving every message, every image, and transferring them to my device. Then, as calmly as before, I placed her phone on the table. Looking her straight in the eyes, I said with a coldness I'd never heard in my own voice, "I don't need your explanations." Then I stood up, walked past her trembling form, and entered our bedroom. I packed my essentials, clothes, documents, valuables. Enough to leave without looking back. I moved into a short-term apartment, blocked her number, and cut off all contact. If she wanted to speak, she could go through my attorney. I filed for divorce immediately. That's where she and I were different. She acted on impulse, driven by selfishness. I acted with clarity, with purpose. I declined mediation. Refused to sit at a table and pretend there was anything left to salvage. I poured all my energy into my business, expanded faster than planned, and rebuilt my life in a new city with a clean slate. Months passed in silence. Then one day, Emily showed up again, pregnant, and begged for a second chance. She claimed the baby was mine. But when I requested a paternity test, her entire demeanor changed. She refused, called me heartless for doubting her. That's when I knew, if she had nothing to hide, she wouldn't be so afraid of the truth. Later, she tried to take me to court, accusing me of abandonment and neglect. She underestimated just how far I was willing to go to protect myself. I hired the best attorneys I could find. They dismantled every single one of her accusations. When the truth came out, the judge not only ruled in my favor, but issued a cease and desist order to prevent her from contacting me again. She lost. Publicly. Completely. That was the moment I felt truly free. If you're ever in a position like mine, don't let guilt or manipulation make you forget your value. When someone shows you their true character, believe them the first time. What do you think? Would you have done the same? Let me know in the comments, and if you made it this far, thank you for sticking around. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Until next time.